Yo, listen very carefully, yo. I'm sick and tired of this divide between quote unquote the suburb Negro versus the Negro living in the hood. Alright? Here's why it annoys me. There is no multi-generational gap. People act as if we're separated by generations upon generations, right? Decades, and we have no clue on what's going on. To be real, most people living in America's middle class, black middle class, were not born into it, right? If you were born before 1980, chances are you were born into poverty. Maybe your parents got out, or maybe you got out, right? I'm at, in my opinion, the beginnings of the whole idea of children, black people, being born into middle class type environments. And even then, my parents didn't really get to the quote unquote middle class lifestyle till I was about 5 or 6. So my older sister and my older half sister were born into poverty, or born into a hood type of environment. Alright? You know, the whole idea of blacks being born into middle class and having middle class parents, right, is relatively new. I look at a lot of 90s babies and above, and that's when you really start to see the whole idea of, yeah, my parents were in the middle class. Clear cut. Not even on the whole verge of getting in. So there is still ties. You know, people watch too much Cosby Show and Fresh Prince. They saw way too much Carlton Banks and Theo Huxtable, to the point now where they think, yo, you know, what the hell do you know about what's going on here? As if our fathers and our mothers didn't just come from there, and as if we don't have family still in there, and as if we don't know people who are still making it out of that situation. Right? My parents came from one hood environment in Nigeria to another, especially my dad. I can still drive you to the homes and the apartments that we rented out in Los Angeles. Alright? So maybe I was not exposed to it. So I'm not going to know the day-to-day activities and the small in and outs. But it's not like it's out of the realm of comprehension. And what you see coming from like people like my mouth, and even from Sergeant Willie Peace's mouth, quote unquote suburb black men, is pretty much what our fathers told us, and what our uncles and all the other men who are kind of in and out of that situation share with us. You know, it's not like our parents make it out and put us in some vacuum and we have no idea of what's going on. No, it doesn't happen that way. And I find it funny because when I was doing my undergrad, the majority of the black people I was around came from lower income, quote unquote, hood environments, either from Oakland or Los Angeles. And some of them were Nigerian. A lot of them were Igbos. So this whole idea that, you know, we were all born into the middle class and we have no idea what's going on is bullshit, because people are still crossing over. And that's the point I'm trying to make. Matter of fact, I'm going to go as far as to say you really have to start looking at probably 95 and above to really even start to find black people who were born into families where their parents were clear cut in America's middle class or upper class. Then I guess we can start to talk about some issues in terms of what do you know about certain environments, because their parents are, you know, are so far removed from there. But when you still have heavy family in inner city or lower income, whatever you want to call it, environments, there isn't some gap, right, that we can't know about or we can't fathom. Like I said before, am I gonna know the day-to-day activities in terms of what's going on? No. But even the people who are still in those environments act like they out there hustling, gangbanging, and all the other stuff. You ain't doing that shit either. So don't come off and act, you know, try to play tough guy because you meet some cats from the burbs. That's what I hate. it really bothers me, because it's like you have black men embracing the fact they're from the hood. Why? Because MTV and BET told them that was cool. Go back to the 50s and the 60s when, blacks were living in comparable situations, probably even worse, and people weren't saying, yeah, it's cool, I embody it, yeah, you don't know nothing about this, stay out of here, you don't know nothing about that. Like, they weren't saying that bullshit, because they knew that's not where they were supposed to be. They wanted to get out, and you couldn't tell them, yeah, this is cool, this is how we need to live. Nah, they was trying to get mobile. So it's about really knowing your history. But now you have a whole bunch of black men who feel like, yeah, they keeping it real because they in this environment. And what pisses me off is the second y'all turn 30 plus, it's not going to be so cool anymore. One of the worst things that I have to see every day going to work is a whole bunch of 35 plus down and out black men. And these same black men 20, 25 years ago were the same ones talking about, yeah, you don't know nothing about the hood, this is who I am, you know what I mean, y'all not real, y'all fake. As if that's where you're supposed to be, and y'all the lucky ones. All I'm doing is sharing and talking about a lot of shit that was given to me by black men who, guess what, came from the same environments that you're coming from right now. And they came from it at a time when it wasn't quote unquote cool. Y'all trying to be cool, then what ends up happening? Right? I guess it's cool to be, young, black, in your 20-something to say, you know what I mean, you have that hood element. But the second you turn 30, the same chicks that was hollering at you are like, yo, I'm not trying to mess with you anymore. Right? Then it becomes corny. The younger cats is laughing at your ass. Oh, get off the block. What are you doing? Then what do you have? Shit, nothing. So at the end of the day, we all on the same page. So stop acting like we're so damn far removed from each other to the point where we can't even understand each other. And quite frankly, the majority of blacks are still crossing over. Alright? So y'all tell me how y'all feel. Take it easy. God bless.